Hey everybody, welcome to Field of Dreams on NCBN TT. I'm Steve David and I'm your host. Today joining me on the set is members of the TTFA Referees Department, and glad to have you guys, and let me take time to introduce these. Caleb, your last name is Wales?
Yes.
Caleb Wales, the referee that's going to Qatar to represent us and refereeing these games, right?
Correct.
Welcome to the set. You looking forward to that?
Of course, I'm excited. I'm willing to go and represent Trinidad and Tobago at the world stage.
And you become now an ambassador for the country?
Yes.
Representing a good way?
You can say that, and I will do my best to represent us to the best of my ability.
And make us proud.
For sure.
All right. You're excited but not scared?
No. I'm prepared. Once I prepare, I'm willing, and once I do the work, I have nothing to fear.
Okay. All right. Next to Caleb is Linda Bramble, and Linda is the chairperson of South Zone, and not a good friend of this set, but a member of my panel, my assessors panel. How you been doing?
I am good, Steve. It's always nice to be here. Thank you for having us, and looking forward to our chat on refereeing. A lot is going on in refereeing, so we'll chat a little more as the show goes on.
And we also want to welcome Neil Breezer. And Neil, you the CONCACAF Referees Association? Assessor. CONCACAF Referee Assessor, and we're glad to have you. And as usual, welcome.
It's my pleasure.
All right, guys, there's a lot to talk about, but we know the star of this show is Caleb. Because we're excited for you and glad for the opportunity, and give us a little background on how excited you got when you heard you were being a member, or did somebody help you get in there, or tell the viewers how you got there.
Well, the journey will have started long ago when I started refereeing. 2006 is when I took the referee course. But even before that, I always had the dream of being part of a world tournament like the World Cup. I always used to watch it on TV. So from there, that's when the journey started, and that's some years ago. I will have looked to work and develop myself to becoming one of the top referees in Trinidad, and eventually CONCACAF, and eventually the world. So my target has been set to World Cup ever since, and only within the past couple of years have I been progressing a lot, and eventually I was rewarded with the opportunity of being selected as a candidate, which will require me to pass fitness tests and do games of high levels so that they can see how well I operate, and eventually they put my name, and I was selected with a trio. My referee is from Guatemala, and the other assistant referee is from Costa Rica, and myself from Trinidad and Tobago. We'll be going as a team and doing games at the World Cup.
And I know your colleagues proud of you, because maybe you guys never made it to that point yet, but there's no hope anymore because you stopped refereeing now. You do something different. Tell us what you do.
Steve, it's really, it's a proud moment for us, and I have been there, Steve. I was at the Women's World Cup in 2003. I was also at the Under-19 Women's World Cup in 2002. So we are very, very excited for Caleb. We know that he has been putting in the work, and actually Caleb is not giving himself the pip. So I'm going to say Caleb is ranked the #1 assistant referee in the whole of CONCACAF. Right, so we have good stuff is coming out of Trinidad and Tobago in the public referees department.
Right.
So we are proud of that. We pass on to Neil.
And Neil, what you about Caleb, and like Linda said, get excited?
Yes, I am very excited because the last time we had an official at the World Cup was in 2002.
Right?
It's Michael Radunov. So to have a sit-down referee 20 years later, that is 5 World Cups after, it's really an honor to have Caleb represent us. We feel good because it's an investment that is paying dividends. So I was speaking to some referees from the US, and I was in a tournament recently. I was speaking to some referees in the US, and they say Caleb is so calm under pressure. His decisions are so correct. He hardly gets offside decisions wrong. He's rated as the #1 AR in CONCACAF and one of the best in the world. Well, somebody said he's the best in the world. So that's how high they place him. But as I told Linda, it's performance driven. So you have stats on, let's say, so you had 10 offside decisions in a match. They will look and see how many he got correct, and usually he gets 10 out of 10. And that's the reason why he's #1, and he's on the list to go to Qatar 2022. So we are very proud of him, and we know that he will go there and continue excelling and make us really proud and serve the game as he's supposed to.
And I like the temperament, Caleb. You're very modest, and you're not showing off your stuff, so you have to be good. What made you want to be a referee? My question to you, because that is the hardest job in the world. Any call you make, half would agree and half would disagree. It's just refereeing. So you didn't get up one morning and say, I want to be a referee. You wanted to be Mike, you want to be something, but what made you fall into this?
Well, you're correct. I didn't get up one morning and said that, but I have always been a fan of football. I wanted to be part of it. And I did play for a short time, but I tend to focus more on my books and my studies when I was a young child. But my dad, he actually was a referee, and he introduced me to refereeing one day. He's like, how about you try this? And I was like, okay, why not? So I tried it, and it took some time, but then eventually I fell in love with it, and I started working harder, and I set my goals and my aspirations, and here I am today as a assistant referee for FIFA and CONCACAF.
Right, and so you will represent us as a referee assistant?
Yes.
Is that what they call it?
Assistant referee.
No, tell viewers what that means.
So the assistant referee is one of the match officials. There's usually 3 on the field, the center referee and 2 assistant referees. They are the ones, basically the ones holding the flag, and they are responsible for indicating offside decisions and ball in and out of play primarily, but they also assist in other duties of the referee. In addition, there's also the 4th official, but he's generally a center referee as well.
Yeah, the viewers, like we call them linesmen back in the day, but now there's a big name for that, referee assistant, right?
Yes.
So, because I had my run-ins as a player with a linesman, we talk about that down the road, but the assistant referee, but because it takes a lot of concentration. And the reason I'm saying this is, as a striker, like myself, the linesman, if I could say linesman or there's referee assistant, they would be looking at the football game just like everybody else, but they have to pick up the last line of defense, right? Because as a striker, we run across the line, and then right as the ball is going to kick, we break through the line to go. Sometimes we pick up the ball 10 yards in and people screaming offside, but they didn't see when we broke the defensive line to go for the ball. So, and I sit down and think about that as a player. Sometimes the referee assistant is not paying attention to that, and then when he catches himself, the person is gone, and they might just stick the flag up. So, how you keep concentration? How you keep the concentration to make sure you don't be a victim of that?
It requires 100% concentration all the time. Also, you have to be using your peripheral vision, because while you're focusing on one thing here, the ball is coming from your far left.
Right.
So it requires a lot of training experience. Over the years, I have done a lot of games But what also helps is, let's say you have video clips of your games. When you look it over, you can analyze and say, I did a great call here, or I did a not so great call here, and then you can take that and use that to improve. But I think the main help I got is maybe from our assessors and our coaches, and even feedback from players or other referees. They give you feedback as to what you can do to improve on your game. And it requires a lot of skill. It requires concentration, agility, movement, staying in line with the line, the last defender or the ball, depending on how the play goes. And it requires a lot of skill and experience.
And I said that to let the viewers know that this is not a walk in the park. This is a very difficult job, because some people life depend on it. And I mean, country, you want to win a World Cup, there's a lot of money, and a lot of that depends on it. So, Linda, you could even speak on that.
Of course, yes, I can speak on that because of the fact that I was also a FIFA assistant referee, and your concentration level really has to be very, very high. I remember, and I would always, that will always stay with me. In 2003 on the Women's World Cup, maybe I got the decision wrong, and there was this player, Mia Hamm. Whenever you get it wrong, said, "Hey ref, which game are you watching?" And that will always keep you on your P's and Q's, because you don't want to hear saying, "Hey ref," because sometimes you really get it wrong. Because for a little moment you take your eyes off the ball and kill it. You don't have that peripheral vision. And sometimes some of the match officials, they are into the game. And sometimes you see them, they stand up there and they're looking at what is taking place. And next thing, the second to last opponent, they left. And then, so it's a lot of concentration, a lot of work. And in the referees department, we train the referees to develop that. Every single time we have training, we have the technical training, we have those working with the assistant referees to develop that.
That is Mia Hamm. She is a goal scorer too. She's a forward, and the forward has the most problems, or any problems with the linesman. That is where the forward has a problem, because we're trying to break the line. We're trying to break the line, and it's very difficult. What you think, Neil?
Well, I was a center referee, so
So you didn't have that issue?
Well, I did as a young referee coming up, but as an international referee, when I came on international panel, I came as a referee. But I do appreciate the work of ARs, because they make us look good, right? An incorrect flag can result in a disallowed goal, and from an assessment point of view, your mark drops immediately when you do that. But with the assessment now, what we look at is the alignment of the AR. So the assistant referee will have to be in line with the second last opponent. So we look at that. That will help him, Caleb, make the correct decision, because when you're in line. The next thing we look at is the kick point. Point at which when the ball is played. So Caleb was talking about the peripheral vision, which is very important. So he has to be listening now for that sound of the ball, and then keeping his eye on the second last opponent to judge offside correctly. What I'll also add, in Linda's time, in my time as well, you had the final attacker like this, that space, right?
Yeah.
Now it's like this, it's closer. The game has gotten very fast and more technical, so Caleb's job is even more difficult in judging that offside line, if the attacker is slightly ahead or what, because you can have a head now. Once a head is ahead, that's offside.
Yeah.
And but now what Caleb and them have to do now is, if you have an offside situation and it's close, Caleb will now tell the referee, delay, and until the ball goes out of play, then if it was offside, then his flag will go up. The reason for that is, if the flag goes up before the goal is scored and the game is stopped, then there is no recourse. So they wait for the result. So if the goal scores, he goes up with his flag now, telling everybody that it's offside, because it can now be checked by VAR. Okay, so.
And that's when you piss off the crowd. That's when they get real upset. Hey, you were sleeping with this late flag, and it's not a late flag. It's part of the rules.
Yes,
part of the process.
So explain that to my viewers, because we don't understand that.
Yes.
We don't.
So, well, what Neil is talking about is the VR protocol.
Right.
Seeing that the World Cup will utilize VAR. We will implement those protocols and its guidelines they give us. Basically, for very close offsides, you want to wait until the attack is finished, which can mean that the player has gone out to the wing, or maybe the defender got the ball, or maybe a goal. And why, as Neil mentioned, you don't want to kill the play before the goal. If you want the goal to score, and then give VAR the opportunity to check it, to see if you're correct or if you're wrong. And then if you're correct, well, play goes on as normal. If not, then the referee goes to review it. And with the World Cup now, they also have now offside technologies where they do an animation. You can see real time on TV whether they're on and off. So it's good technologies that help us get more of the decision correct. Maybe we have a 95%, but we want to get it up to 99, maybe 100%. So those really difficult decisions that we sometimes may get incorrect, VAR is there to help us correct it.
You know, it's great to shoot for 100, but man, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Well, 99 is good enough.
and
1% for human error.
1%.
Yeah, and it's part of the game. It's human error.
It's part of the game, yeah.
It should be. Like, you know, what I think is very difficult as well is the ball going over the touchline, and a lot of people don't realize the entire ball has to be over. And sometimes it looks like it's outside, but it's not. And you at a distance, you know, or you might be running up a little late for the play, because it happens now. It happens with us as footballers, so I know it will happen with you. A little late for the play, and then you're not still sure. So if you're not so sure, what do? You stick your flag up, or you just let it go?
Part of our training, when we have doubt, we keep our flag down. So,
keep it down.
Yeah.
That's the best way.
Yes, it's better we give the benefit of the doubt to the attacking team.
Right. So, what are you looking forward to most going into this World Cup?
I'm looking forward to seeing some of the big teams out there in other confederations. I mean, I'm already familiar with the USA, Mexico, Costa Rica, Panama, the teams in this region, and the Caribbean as well. But I have not much experience with teams from outside the region, like UEFA. So you have England, Germany, CONMEBOL, Brazil, Argentina. And even Asia and Africa has some teams that. So I'm really looking forward to get that mix of cultures, because I'm used to Latin America, North America, Caribbean, but I would like to see more. And probably not just meet the teams, but also meet the referees from other regions as well.
You will see more and you'll hear more too. They're guys, and they get real aggressive in the field. I know.
Yeah.
And they yell at you, but you pay them no mind.
Yeah.
Just go about your business.
It's different. I mean, CONCACAF has crazy players, but out there it's very different and very aggressive as well. So I'm looking forward to the challenge of that.
You come back here with a lot of more experience than you did, because
Correct.
you're going to have all kind of different variations of aggression and all that. Viewers will be right back after this short break.
Hi, join us for your movie classics on NCBN TT Television Network every Saturday at 10:30 a.m. with repeats on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. NCBN Television, the #1 online television network, bringing you the classics.
Current affairs.
Oh, what?
That's it. That's it.
Welcome, one and all. I am Gigi Love, alongside my sidekick, Mr. Aruka.
Your partner in crime, Juliet.
And we are going to be live on NCBN on a social media platform near you. IG, Facebook, YouTube. We are going to be
sensational,
tantalizing,
thought-provoking,
dramatic,
educational,
real,
sometimes spiritual,
suspense,
political analysis.
drama.
Take no prisoners, Juliet. Don't forget that part. Coming soon.
20,000 can rise against we like zombies on Juve morning. They can't stop the garden.
Okay, welcome back. For those of you who now tuning in, you're watching Field of Dreams on NCBN TT, and I'm here with members of the TTFA Referees Department. Neil, this one is for you, bud. I want you to tell my viewers what a CONCACAF referee assessors do.
Okay. No, I knew that question would have popped up at some point in time. So basically what a CONCACAF referee assessor does is that I would assess the performance of football referees. When I say referees, I'm talking about ARs and fourth official throughout the Confederation. So the Confederation, I'm talking about the Caribbean, Central America and North America, in one-off games and in tournaments. So basically what we will do is that we will, for example, if it's a one-off game, I will go 2 days before the match, and then on the day of the match I'll go view the game. After the game I'll have a short debrief with the referees, and then a follow-up if there are controversial decisions and what have you. I'll cut the clips and have a Zoom meeting when they return home. So basically my job is to critique the referee with the view of making them better. A tournament is different because you have them there for a longer period of time where that process can be repeated, you know, throughout. It's a lot of work, but I enjoy doing it because I see myself as very integral to the development of referees. Caleb would have been, I assess locally as well, so I would assess Caleb. So it's a very important part of a referee's development, the assessment component.
I know you shouldn't make mistakes or too many mistakes because you get a chance to view it, analyze it, and then spit out what you have to say.
Yes, because my report has to go to John Nielsen. He's the supervisor of assessors. He's based in Canada, and he will critique my report before the report is sent to the member association and then to Caleb. So my work is also under critique. But more importantly, I want to make sure that I tell the referee what is important because we don't look at negatives, we look at positives, and we have a term we use now, points for improvement or developmental points. So assessors and referees are closer now than in my time. In my time it was like this. Now we are close. I see myself as part of the refereeing team. So like on games, I will do the warm-up with the referees and what have you, and make them feel comfortable as much as possible. Because my philosophy is, if I can get the referees as comfortable as possible and to get their mind in the correct state for the game, then they will go out there and give an optimal performance, which makes my work easy. Because if Caleb gets all his offside decisions correct, then my report is simple. All I have to say is, the assistant referee got this offside correct in minute so, and that's the end of the report. When he gets them incorrect, I have to now say why he got them incorrect, and now I have to now give a diagnosis now of what can be done now to correct these decisions. So it's a win-win situation if he does well. It benefits him, and it also makes my work easier, which is a win-win situation.
Before I get to Caleb, Linda, wouldn't if you were doing that, wouldn't you say everything good? So especially if you're sleepy to go to bed.
No. As Neil was, I also was a CONCACAF referee assessor.
Right.
Yes, and our job is not to say you have to give the referee feedback. The mark that you gave that referee, the comments must be justified. All right, and then you have the video, you have evidence. All right, so you might say X, and as Neil said, somebody is checking your work. So if you make up things and say good, they have the video evidence also. So you will be in trouble because you are not being beneficial to the referees. And the job of an assessor is to let the referee see what they did well so that they can take into their next game, and then to see what they need to develop so that they can be better in their next game. Right? So it's no easy feat. I think for me, I feel it, as I was telling Neil this morning, it was easier being the active referee than doing the assessment now, because when you get to that assessment, when the game is finished, referee can relax, and that is when the work of the assessor begins.
So now to you, Caleb, because as a player, I'm going to compare player with referee. As a player, if I had bad portions of my game and the people pointed out, no, I go and I work on it. So if my shooting was very good, or my heading was good, or my runs was bad, no, in practice I am working on my mistakes, because that's what we do as professionals. Now, for you getting assessed and they give you a report, do you have to go and work on anything, or you just accept it and in a game you try to correct it?
Yeah, of course. The assessment I receive from my assessors are a very valuable piece of information. I use that and internalize that. But one of the most important critics is yourself. You also have to self-analyze, self-assess, and look for points for improvement. Even if they said everything was good, you could say, well, let's see if I can make this better. Maybe I can be a little quicker, a little sharper, a little this. A little fine-tuning can be done here and there. It's a skill I kind of learned back in, well, I think I always did it, but in 2015 I would have gone to a course in UEFA, and they mentioned the importance of self-assessment, where you can actually look at your performance and give yourself that feedback. So you take in the inputs from everybody else, from coaches, from assessors, and then you add your input as well, and you mix that up and you come up with what is your plan for the next game. So in the next game now, you should be at the same level or even better.
But you analyze it in your head and stuff, but I'm talking about like how footballers, we physically go on the field and work on our problems. Do you guys do that?
Yes, we do physical training very regularly. I mean, physical training is part of life, so it's a daily thing where you actually work on your fitness as well.
Right.
But part of the physical training is implementing aspects from the game. So if you need to get quicker, you do sprints. If you need to work on agility, movement, positioning, you do that on the field itself. So it may look like we might be running crazy, but if you see me in a park or a field running around doing stuff, that's me simulating myself on a game and pretending, I'm on a game situation, and what will I do, and how can I be physically sharper, mentally sharper, and all around better referee.
All right, this is a question for all of you. We yell at you as players, and some of us temperament is different to others. So, have you ever been yelled at and you went overboard? And if so, how do you correct that, or or do you think about it and then you work on your temperament to cool down, or your aggression, or what? I mean, tell me what you do to improve that skill. As far as anyone, Linda, you, Neil, anybody.
Okay, so you speak about you get yelled at by spectators
or players, whoever, and then you want to burst out, but you gotta hold yourself back.
That's right, because as a match official, all right, you have to get accustomed to that, as we say, get thick skin. So you don't concentrate on persons telling you things. You kind of blank out stuff and you focus on your game. Sometimes it's very difficult, but we kind of train the referees in that way. You can't let what the crowd telling you get to you. You have to stay in the moment so that you can concentrate on your game, so that you can make the correct decisions. Afterwards, you will come in and you'll get, hey, that man get me real vexed, you know.
Right.
But
so you never lose it on the field?
Not really.
What would you name?
Well, football is a very emotional game.
Right.
So it's part and parcel that players would disagree. They wouldn't always agree to your decisions. Spectators they are rooting for their team, so obviously they'll be passionate and stuff. And those things are expected. You expect that those things to happen. So as a referee, you have to be prepared mentally to deal with that pressure. That's a part of pressures of the game. And the modern game is more so, where stakes are high, and so you'll have spectators and players yelling at you and stuff. But you have to, on the players on the field, you have control of them. You don't have control of the spectators. So you can probably caution a player for the scent, or more so send the player off if he curse you or what have you. Me personally, I never lost my cool, but sometimes it came to a tipping point. But I didn't lose my cool. I had to control myself and that kind of thing. You refer in certain volatile environments, like I always remember in Jamaica, the spectators are very vociferous, and in Central America, Costa Rica, Guatemala, they throw coins at you.
Right.
So I remember inspecting a field in Guatemala, and a spectator threw a coin, it struck me on my hand. I got upset because I look up and I got visibly upset. Because I mean, but yes, it happens, but you must not lose the cool, as Linda said, because if you lose your cool, your game descends, or disintegrates, and you should not allow that to happen.
Killer.
Yeah, well, on that point, I just want to add, is a human reaction, but it affects your decisions. So it's something you need to keep control of, and once you keep control of yourself, then you can be in charge of the rest of the field.
Right, you can't anticipate what's going to ask you, but that happens, and then in your head, like, you calling against the you calling against the team.
Yes.
That and how you bring yourself back to, hey, you have to do it right. Don't.
Everything gets better with experience. I mean, in the early days, I probably would have. I mean, despite my personality, I probably would have gotten upset or talked back on these things, and it does affect your game, as you mentioned. But it's something you really need to keep composure of. Be aware of it as well. Be aware of that psychological effect that, you know, you get yelled at by this team, so you might feel you want to make a call for that team, but you have to always maintain that whatever you see on the field is what you decide upon, and you have to decide upon what you see. Of course, you may make a mistake, but that's in the past. You look at it, you analyze it, and you just make it better going forward.
You mean you guys that level-headed? Because I remember intercall or some college game when a guy came out on the field and hit the referee, and that was chaos. You know, if that happened to you, wouldn't you do? Somebody come on the field and hit you, how do you respond?
Well, in my career, fortunately, it never happened. So I can't tell you what I would have done if a player struck me, because I cannot say now if I would not have retaliated. I cannot say now. So I can say I wouldn't have retaliated, but you never know in that state. A player for example, a player spit on you. I mean, that is one of the most ignominious thing could happen to you. So I would not say now that I'm sure I would have reacted this way or that way. It's situational. I would have tried to maintain my composure and stuff, but it's difficult in that situation for a player to strike you and to maintain your composure and stuff. It's difficult. As somebody once said, it's easier to be happily married than to referee a game of football.
And I know for me, Steve, if something like that happened to me, if somebody comes and hit me, I am sorry. Game done. Match over. I am retaliating. I'm sorry. I'm not taking any lash. Sorry.
But how would they score? How would they assess you?
Well, I know my assessor would after the game and so forth, when we have our debrief, I know very well the assessor would tell me that is not the way that I should have responded.
Right.
But the assessor didn't get hit.
Right.
Right. So I know me. Yes, talk, no problem. But if you hit me, that's another story.
Caleb, the World Cup referee. What are you going to do, buddy?
Well, as me mentioned, like him, I'm fortunate never to have anyone physically assault me. I have received a lot of verbal and a lot of emotional abuse, but there's two sides to it. There's the emotional side where you can react and retaliate, but there's also protocols where you can deal with it based on the laws of the game. If a player acts so far out of line that it requires to leave the field, and you send them off, and if it requires even further reports on these things, you write it up and you take care of it in the paperwork. As for emotional, I can't tell what will happen, but hopefully I don't lose it. But I know to try and keep control and deal with it, combine the both and try to deal with it the best I can.
Okay, I'm going to come back with you. You got to take a break now, but I'm going to come back with you. I give you the thing. As a player, we work on our weaknesses, and that we follow. I want to know, as a referee, do you have weaknesses, and how do you combat? How do you work on them? So our viewers would like to know that. Viewers, we'll be right back after the short break.
Children's Storytime with Auntie Katie is coming soon, only on NCBN TT Television.
Hi, join us for your movie classics on NCBN TT Television Network every Saturday at 10:30 a.m. with repeats on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. NCBN Television, the #1 online television network, bringing you the classics.
Okay, welcome back, viewers. As a player, I worked on my weaknesses every single day to try to make them better. And the one that gave me the most trouble was really my heading. But I had a teammate, Ken Morin, who was very good at that. And I said, Ken, you got to teach me to head the ball. And and it helped and it improved. What do you do? Do you recognize your weaknesses, and what do you do to combat those?
Well, yes, weaknesses is something I've been working on my whole career, ever since I started. And I would have probably cover them up so much that they may seem invisible, but they're always something to work on. So as a referee growing up, I mean, my personality has changed and evolved. I probably was very quiet. I never used to be a strong personality on the field. And I had that pointed out to me a couple of times by assessors and whatnot, and over the time I realized I need to be more vocal, more strong on the field. I'm also aware I need to be fast, I need to be running quick. So these things I worked on over time. I worked on my strength physically, so now I'm maybe stronger physically than I was 5, 10, 15 years ago. And concentration is a big thing. I mean, when you now start, you maybe scatterbrain and looking all over the place, but try to hone in on that offside while a foul is going on or while the ball is in and out of play. Working on your concentration level, improving it, making sure it's top. So it's always a work in progress, working on weaknesses. And you know, it may seem like, you know, you're so good that they're not there, but there's always something to work on.
Right. Add to that, Linda.
Right. So in the referees department, right, and Steve, I must say, the last time that we were on the program, I was telling you that, you know, I really hope that we get someone in the referees department who is impartial and so forth. And since September last year, the referees departments have been up and running under Mr. Michael Ragunath, and it has been exceptional. Caleb can vouch for that. The referees are more comfortable. We have a team of persons who are really working with the referees. So when we do assessment, all right, we would have the points for improvement or development. So Neil and I, we are both technical instructors, MA technical instructors. We have been to the FIFA courses for FIFA Futuro 3 courses for technical instructors. So the role of the technical instructors now is for us to develop those technical skills that the referees are weak in. So we have training on a Saturday morning, all right, and we have drills that we will use with the referees to develop some of those points that they would be weak in. For example, most of I work more with the assistant referees because that is my field. So things like staying in alignment, concentration, as Caleb would say, that body language and so forth, we do drills with the referees to develop that. Okay, Neil, because he was the referee, he works with the referees with drills to develop that. So in the referees department, we are looking, well, the technical instructors deal with the technical stuff, and we also have the fitness instructors. So I pass on to Neil so he can give some more. We're talking about developing those weaknesses.
Put the icing on the cake there, Neil.
Yes, so as Linda said, we have the technical instructor and we do on the field. We also do video analysis on a Monday night from 7:30 to 9, where we look at clips. So we look at offside decisions, look at the moment the ball is played, and the referee will make a decision if it's offside or no. And so that again is to hone in on their skills. So we do video work and we also do field work. So to develop the officials, you know, for their job. It's not easy, but we bring them out on a Saturday morning to really sharpen up their skills. And as Linda said, points for improvement. We look at some drills to correct those errors like alignment issues, concentration issues. From a refereeing point of view, we look at things like penalty area control and what have you, to make the referees better. So when they go onto the field, we serve the game as we're supposed to, because at the end of the day, we are servants of the game. We are here to serve the game. The players are the ones on show, not the officials. We are just there to make sure the game is played within the laws of the game and the decisions in the game are correct. Yeah.
Okay, Caleb, and I'm your biggest supporter right now, and I'm looking forward to watching you, not the players playing football, or you on TV. Anyhow, but I'm telling you from experience that when you first get on the big stage, you have butterflies. You know you panicking, and all that. And as I go in my career and I get deeper and more confident and experience, then it's like open the gate and let me in the field, because I want to go. You know, you're not scared anymore. You want to go and show off to the people what you can do and all that. And in your case, now you go into the World Cup. Do you have butterflies, or do you feel that way, and how are you going to combat those?
Well, I've done top level games in CONCACAF, and I've gotten butterflies before. Especially my first time at the Gold Cup. I mean, it's the biggest tournament in CONCACAF, and I've since gone past that. So I have had the process of getting the butterflies, and I know on day one of the World Cup I'm going to feel it. So my strategy is probably to get it out quickly. It's going to happen, and then probably try to channel that into positive energy. So I know I'm going to experience it. Probably not right now. Right now I'm probably still months away from World Cup, but it's going to come quickly, and then there's going to be the day I'm going to walk onto the field on the world stage, and then it's going to hit me. So I have to get that out quickly and go about my business, and that can only be done with proper preparation, planning. Even next week I'm going to go to Guatemala and work with my referee and team so that we can be prepared and ready for the world stage.
Yeah, because now you're going to the highest, the pinnacle. So, but in CONCACAF games, do you still get butterflies, or do you still feel some kind of unsettledness?
Yeah, every game you get some sort of nervousness, but it gets better as you go along and as you do more games there. So World Cup day 1, maybe a lot of butterfly. World Cup day 2, maybe less, and hopefully by the end of the World Cup I'll be ready to do the next one.
Yeah, honest fella, because that's how you go. And when you don't feel them no more, that is when you have the experience. Now they're trying to hold you back from getting out in the field to show off your game.
Correct.
Good. And keep it going that way. Linda, what you guys have something to say on that?
Neil want to jump in with something he was saying concerning Caleb, and then we'll.
Now, Caleb is very unique because, as Linda would say, before you go to a senior World Cup, that's the highest you can reach.
Right.
You usually go to like under 17s, under 20 Olympics, Confederations Cup. But Caleb went straight without going to a FIFA tournament because I don't think because of COVID I don't think they were any within that period. So, but he moved straight from the Confederation, the Gold Cup, straight to a World Cup, which is unprecedented. But it's because of his excellence he was able to make that jump, and I truly believe, and Linda can attest to, that he will be able to perform at that world stage. But that's something I want to mention to viewers, that he moved from here to straight up here, and that is unprecedented. But he's an excellent official, and that's the reason why he was able to make that jump. But in terms of the nervousness, for all my games, all international games, I used to feel butterflies, but you have to be able to control it, and it's something that's called imagery. Because there was a referee from Trinidad who went to the Azteca, and I told him what to do: get a video recording of the noise that there is in Azteca, and play and play that video and listen to the noise. And that will program your mind that when you go to Azteca, you will have already heard that noise. So when you go there now, it will become second nature to you. So Caleb has to do some imagery, some mental imagery, that will help him to calm himself. So when he goes onto the field, it will be like, I was here before. I'm familiar with the noise, the volume of people, and what have you. And he just have to control his emotions when he steps onto the field, and he will do excellent.
Exactly. Right. Because no matter what the level, you get that butterflies, you get that, and from the time you calm down, it comes on with experience, it goes away quicker. Right, so I know that Caleb will do well on the tournament that he has coming up, and he will do Trinidad and Tobago proud, the Caribbean, and the CONCACAF. Right, he will soar above the rest. We know that for sure.
So Kevin, what are you hearing from your friends and family and supporters and whatever? What are you hearing? Tell the viewers, they would be excited to know how you feel.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends and family who are excited to turn on the TV and see me. I'm also a part of, I hear Neil mention salsa. I'm part of the Latin dance community in Trinidad and Tobago, so a lot of them are excited for me as well, as someone who dances with them regularly. They want to see me on that stage as well, so they are my biggest supporters, my family as well. my mom and my dad and my brothers and cousins, everyone, they're all cheering for me. So I'm going to the World Cup knowing I have all of their support, and I'm going to do my best.
I'm going to lighten things up a little bit. What was your most embarrassing moment?
Embarrassing? I mean, on the field?
Maybe you're on the field and you slip and you fall in your face or something while and you miss a call, whatever. What was embarrassing to you?
There have been embarrassing moments. I can't think of a very embarrassing one. I know locally I would have slipped on a very soaking wet field with,
Right.
I'm running at full speed because I like to give 100%. So imagine me running full speed and then the footing give away because the floor is wet and I slip once or twice. But
and the crowd goes up.
Yeah, the crowd enjoys that, but I keep my head on, I get back up and I go back at it. So I don't let that bother me. In terms of international, I remember sometimes you just walk in a stadium and first time you're in that stadium and all of a sudden you hear people throw insults at you and you're like, what's all this, and then they pelted bags and rubbish. That happens in Central America all the time. So, sometimes things hit you, but it's all part of the experience. So.
Exactly. Linda, you want to add some of your experience, embarrassing moments?
Okay, I remember locally, you're going to make a decision, but you want to go so fast, the flag flew out of your hand, so you have to try and grab it back before it continue with the decision. Yeah. But I know, like internationally, and this is going to remain with me for good. Making an incorrect decision. I remember on Gold Cup. Well, I was one of the better ARs, so I didn't get any game in the first round because they were saving me for the finals. Right. So they decided to give me a game in the semi-final game, and I don't know if I lost concentration or what, but the attacking player take a shot on goal, and the keeper saved, and the ball went right back to that same attacking player. And you should see a girl.
Offside.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Only when, and I was there with Shady Silva, and she looked at me confused there, but because the flag went up, she blew the whistle. And that was the end of my tournament and my finals and everything. And I felt bad because my assessor told me, how could you make a mistake like that?
Right.
Yeah, because we expect better of you at this level.
Right.
So that was one of my most embarrassing moments, making a wrong decision for the entire world to see when others expect much more of you because they had greater things for you. So that's for me. But I want to put something in here. Caleb is a role model for a lot of our young referees coming up.
Right.
We have a young referee called Odell Brewster. Now start 19, I think he is.
19.
And there was a day I had Caleb on a game. I was assessing the game, one of the Ascension League games. He was supposed to be on that game, but he came late, so we switched. And while he came upstairs and he was sitting with me, he said, Miss Bramble, I am so glad that I reached late, so I could sit down and watch the best at work. And learn from it because I want to be like him one day.
Cool. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we have in the referees department, we have a lot taking place. We have a lot of young referees. Neil Brizan, we had one of our assessors, Alison Boney, and we had some young persons in the likes of Natalia Williams and Kurt Charles and Karen Myers. They just came back from the 14 challenge
in Dominican Republic.
Right.
So we have those that Caleb is there, they see Caleb there, and they are telling themselves, we can't go.
Any
embarrassing moment? One was happened in Nashville, Tennessee in 2008 in the Olympic qualifying, Honduras, Guatemala. I had to give the captain a yellow card, and looking for my dip for my yellow card, no yellow card. Look across the photo official called me and gave me a yellow card and I was able to issue it. So that was embarrassing because I was looking for a yellow card, now it fell out of my pocket during the game, I did not know when. So my father official called me across and he gave it to me, and I was embarrassing.
Time runs out so quickly, and but Caleb, you have what it takes, obviously, and we put you out there, and you need to go out and express yourself and show people what you can do as a player. I grasp on those kind of opportunities, but I always think about for experience, and also I always think about maybe somebody who like me as a fan would bring somebody else to see me. So every time I go out, I want to do put 100%, because it might be some new supporter or somebody who came to see me specially, and I didn't give it to them. So my advice to you is to give the best you can every single time. And I think you're going to do well. I wish you good luck. And I am going to turn on the TV, and I'm going to be looking at the linesman to see if I see Caleb, because now I'm one of your fans. So good luck.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. For Neil and Linda, thank you guys for being here and giving Kaylin the support. And I appreciate you guys so much.
That's right.
And thank you very much for coming.
Always a pleasure.
All right. NCBN, thanks for giving us the opportunity. Viewers, thank you for tuning in. We come on at 8 o'clock every Tuesday night. Just keep tuning in and bring more people to viewing the show. We appreciate you as well.